I was starting my healing journey all over again, which I am, these are the things that I would do. If you've never seen my face before, hi, my name is Ashiria. In 2020, I developed psoriasis, and instead of taking the traditional Western medication, I went on a whole natural healing journey. And I documented it on Instagram specifically, but I wish I would have documented it over here. But now we're here and we'll have the whole thing documented again for this other situation that I'm dealing with. But let me get back to that. So yes, I was able to heal my psoriasis with just using fasting, herbs, and eating raw vegan. That's it. And time. So with that said, this video is for the individual that is sick and tired of being sick and tired of medication, going from doctor to doctor, not getting the results that you want, not getting the healing that you want. Maybe there's something in this video that can help you and heal you. This is also for the person who is new to natural holistic healing and just wants more information, wants to live a healthier lifestyle. This is for you. Who this is not for is someone looking for a quick fix, a quick healing, because natural healing is not quick. It's more long-term than Western medication, but it's not quick, okay? What you have to understand is Western medicine, although there are some great aspects about Western medicine, medication can be just a band-aid, meaning that it suppresses the symptoms, but you still have that illness, that disease, right? And if you have improved that illness, the dogs are gonna be barking, I'm sorry. But if you have improved that illness with that medication, sometimes you have side effects, right? That's not the case with herbs and fasting and eating raw vegan. It cleanses, detoxes you at a cellular level, repairs your cells from the inside out. And while it's doing that, you may not see the physical changes, but just know inside that it's healing. And then you also have to think about if you have had an illness for years, a chronic illness, there is a lot that those herbs and that fruit and those vegetables have to do to repair at a cellular level. But if you stick with it, you will see change. So for me, back in 2021 is when end of 2020, all of 2021 is when I started the whole fasting, herbs, and raw vegan journey. It took me a full year to clear my psoriasis. It is now 2025. I have not had a flare up since, okay? So, starting at the beginning, from everything that I learned, all my trials and errors, things that I have learned now, my experiences, the first thing that you want to do is detoxify the body, because the body can heal itself. You think about animals, nature itself, it can heal itself. What happens when a cat or a dog gets sick? Usually they stop eating, right? They know internally to fast. The body knows to fast to heal the body. So that's what we have to remember, because we all knew this at one point in time. Our ancestors knew this, nature taught us this, but we have forgot because of technology and what is being fed to us by media and Western medicine and the foods that we eat. But if you remember, fasting is the start to detoxifying the body, and detoxifying just means it's cleaning and it's bringing your body back into balance where it can start healing and repairing itself. And how you do that is with fasting. There are different tiers or different types of fasting. I kind of think of a pyramid. I'm gonna put a little picture off here to the side somewhere of the different levels of fasting. And when I say different levels, it's the different accelerations of fasting. So eating a normal Western standard, not a Western, what am I talking? Eating a normal standard American diet, there's not a lot of detoxification going on, right? If you go up a tier to plant-based, you'll have detoxification, but at a slower rate. Then if you go higher to what is called raw vegan, raw plant-based, you will start to have a gentle detoxification. You go higher than that to only eating fruits at their raw state. And when I mean raw, I mean just not cooking them, right? When you have the raw fruits, you start to progress in the detoxification. Higher than that are your fruit juices, nothing but juice. And these are juices that are not processed, not heated up, like you juicing your own fruits. That is a more aggressive detoxification. Then from there, you have water fasting, and that is one of the most aggressive one. You could do dry fasting too, but I never recommend that, just like I hardly ever recommend water fasting, especially to a beginner. So those are your different types of fasting, and it all depends on how fast you want to detox. And you may be asking, well, what does that mean, Ashiria? It means that your body is going to cleanse and repair your cells at a faster rate, so you will experience detox symptoms at a faster and sometimes maybe a more extreme rate. And we'll get into that more later down in the video. Is you writing this down? Because I'm spilling a lot, okay? Okay. I have to look down here and there because we get full notes right here because I don't want to miss anything. And let me preface this by saying this. I should have said this at the very beginning of the video. I might have to put this at the beginning of the video. What worked for me may not work for you. We are all uniquely made. We are all made different in our genetics. What took me a year to heal may take you a shorter amount of time, may take you a longer amount of time. It just depends on the stage of the illness. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But I also want to preface this by saying this, that I am not a physician. I am not your physician. You are your own healer. Whatever I am telling you in this video today, please do your own research. Research it down to the ground, okay? Talk to your physician, your trusted physician about these things. And yeah, this is for informational purposes only, okay? Okay. Now getting back to it. So with illness, there are 4 stages, okay? There is acute, subacute, chronic, and degenerative. So with your acute are like your early signs and symptoms of the illness. So I'm gonna take the illness that I am now trying to heal the damage from. So I have celiac disease. So that means that I have damage to my small intestines. And I'll never not have celiac disease, but I can heal my small intestines, and sometimes your liver and your pancreas is affected by celiac. I can heal all those things naturally. They do take time. I just have to stay away from gluten and do this protocol that I'm about to tell you about, and I can live a normal, thriving life, but it takes time and consistency. So acute, we're going to use the example of celiac. You would start having maybe symptoms of gas and bloating and just digestive issues, right, in the acute state. Then subacute is your secondary stage. So you may not experience those anymore, but you may start experiencing other symptoms, like maybe you get a rash or you may get psoriasis. Yeah, what I got. So that'll be your subacute stage. And then your chronic stage is where a lot of us here in the US live in. Your chronic illnesses, your autoimmune illnesses, you just can't figure out what is wrong with you. Your body is sending inflammatory responses all over because you have this deterioration, you have this acidity in your body, and it's coming out in the form of an illness. And it's all stemming from the foods that we eat and the stresses that we take on. And then your fourth stage is your degenerative stage. Degenerative stage for celiac would be something like more organs and systems are affected, and maybe it is even progressed into cancers, right? So the degenerative stage is the stage where the disease progresses to a severe stage where it affects the tissues or the systems, and they are permanently damaged and deteriorated. This stage is often irreversible. That's what they say, but if you wake up every day, you got breath in your body, know that you can do something to improve it and start working to heal it if you are in that stage. So please, if you see this video and you are in this stage or know somebody that's in this stage, do not give up, okay? So this is where we get into the fasting. So I gave you the different tiers of fasting. You are gonna pick the type or the tier, whatever you want to call it, depending on your goals and how severe the illness is, right? My go-to that I see the best results is fruit fasting, mono fruit fasting. And what that is picking one type of fruit group. And so they say pick high water content fruit. So that's going to be your melons, citrus fruit, your berries, your grapes, your apples. Now in those five, those are all groups. So if you say you like grapes, you would do nothing but the grapes. So you have green grapes, red grapes, black grapes, any of the grapes. I don't know all the names, but any of the grapes, you can have them, right? But you don't want to mix them with anything else. And the thought behind this is our digestive system breaks down food types differently. So how it would chemically break down a grape, it would break down melons differently, right? And at a different rate. So with watermelon, it might break it down within 15 to 30 minutes. Over here with grapes, it might be 30 to 40 minutes. So you don't want to mix the two because you don't want to create more digestive issues. The point of a fast is to give your digestive system a break. So my favorite way to fast is a mono fruit fast. And the reason why I do it and I suggest it to others is because it's a great way as a beginner to cleanse at an accelerated rate, but you don't feel like you're deprived because you still get to eat something. Now, water fast is phenomenal, but you don't get all the nutrients that you would get from your fruits, right? And so sometimes it could be harder on the body when you water fast, but it is a great way to fast, and the acceleration rate is very aggressive. So just keep that in mind. So I do a mono fruit fast. I pick the type of fruit that I want to consume. And in between that fruit, I'm doing a lot of spring water, and I'm having a lot of teas, a lot of herbal teas, depending on what I'm trying to heal. And we'll talk about that more too. I promise you're gonna get it all, okay? So hopefully this video isn't too long. It might be a part 2, I'm not sure, but I'm planning to create a whole series from beginning to end and actually showing me, doing the fast and, using the herbs and what type of herbs I'm using and the different body systems that you want to clean. So you're gonna get it, I promise you. So, with the mono fruit fast, say I chose grapes, right? I, get all the different type of grapes that I like. I want to make sure I got plenty of spring water on hand. I want to make sure that I got the herbs that I need to cleanse and detoxify the body and tone the organs that may be impaired. And then lots of rest. So no extreme exercising or just, extreme stuff. You want to make sure that your body is resting and that you're stress-free during this time fasting. So back in the day, I used to do like 3 to 7 day fast because I was super new to it. And still, I think that's a great place to start. But now that I have more knowledge and experience and have also taken courses in naturopathic healing, I tell everyone a minimum of 30 days, especially if you have aggressive illness, chronic autoimmune illness. 30 days, right? A minimum. Sometimes you might have to do 3 months. It just depends on how toxic the body is and how stage you are in with that illness, acute, subacute, chronic, degenerative, right? So now I would do a full 30 days. Now, if you don't have any type of illnesses, but like the information I'm telling you, you like,
I'm feeling this. Like, I still want to fast. I still want to do something, to improve my health.
Like, I want to incorporate these things. I would say try a 3 to 7 day fast and make it a routine. Maybe you do it every quarter or the first of the month. But getting back to the illness part, like, me with the celiac, I'm going to do a full 30 days, nothing but mono fruit with my spring water and my herbs, right? So let me give you an example of how I would eat throughout the day on a mono fruit fast. So to start off my morning routine, I would have my herbal tea. And we'll talk about herbs just here in a minute. And lots of fluids, so herbal teas, your spring water, you can throw some lemon in there, cucumber to make it flavored, whatever you want to do. And then my first meal of the day would be whichever fruit that I chose. So like if I'm doing grapes, I'd have a big bowl of grapes. Now keep in mind, on the mono fruit fast, you can have it blended, juiced, frozen, just not cooked. So if you get tired of just eating a bowl of fruit, you could juice it and have it in the form of a juice, or you could make a smoothie, like a grape smoothie. You just want to make sure that you're not adding anything extra, because remember, the objective of a fast is to give the digestive system a break. And then, like I said, if you add other components, other foods in there, your digestive system has to do more work to break it down. So yeah, morning, big bowl of grapes. Also, the other thing that I want to tell you is a lot of people will say, well, how much do I need to eat? When you're on a fast, there's no calorie counting. You eat as much as you want. In between that, you would have more of your herbal tea, spring water. Make sure that you're staying hydrated. I can't stress that enough. Hydrate, 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 because you're already getting a limited amount of food into the body. And also hydration helps remove and move the waste and the toxins out and keep the systems lubricated and moving. So anyways, yeah, in between that, you'll have your water, your herbal teas. Lunch, you could do another big bowl of grapes. You could juice it, you could make it a smoothie, you could eat it frozen, however you want to do it. In between that, again, you'll have your drinks, and then dinner, same thing again. So it's super simple. It might get boring because you're eating the same way each time. So that's what I find that could be the hardest part, eating the same food type over and over again, but how to keep it interesting and so you don't get bored. Try different types of grapes. So maybe in the morning you do green grapes, lunch you would do red grapes, dinner you would do black grapes, all the different type of grapes, right? And also try the different methods of juicing, freezing, smoothies. Now, if that way of fasting is too hard for you and you don't feel satiated enough, you can add a salad. But remember that the salad will slow down the detox. So in the morning you could do your grapes, and then the lunchtime you can do a salad. But with that salad, you're not adding a whole bunch of stuff like store-bought dressings or anything like that. You want to keep it simple, like a simple olive dressing with some herbs, salt and pepper, or you could do a vinegar dressing, something that is very light and that is not processed. And then you want to do leafy greens like your romaine, butter lettuce, something that is, what am I trying to say? Then not like your kale or your collards or anything like that, because it's harder for your digestive system to break down. So you want light leafy greens, romaine, butter lettuce, Bib lettuce, those type that are easy for your digestive system to break down. While you are fasting, this is the time that you want to incorporate the herbs. And so no matter what you are trying to heal, you want to think about these body systems first. And I don't care if you have an issue with the skin, you want to focus on using herbs for these body systems first. Your first one, of course, is going to be your digestive system. Second is going to be your lymphatic system. Your third is going to be your kidneys, your urinary tract. And then as a bonus, because most of our adrenals are down, we're in adrenal fatigue, you can focus on your adrenals as well, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. So the reason why these systems, these organs are your primary focus is because you want to get things moving and eliminating that toxin and those wastes, right? And what is the first system that the body or that food touch? Your digestive system. So that's a big one. And then your lymphatic system is like your waste system. It's just taking like an excerpt from Dr. Robert Morse's book. I highly recommend you get that book. I say that probably in every video, I know, but it is so informative and will really help guide you on your healing journey. But yeah, so Dr. Morse compares the lymphatic system to like your waste system in the house. You know, there's always an analogy to help us understand, but he says the lymphatic system is the body's main waste removal system. Just like the sewer system in a house, cells produce waste, metabolic byproducts, just as a home produces garbage. This waste is carried through the lymphatic system to be filtered and removed. If the lymphatic system becomes congested due to an acidic diet, lack of hydration, inactivity, it leads to inflammation, toxicity, and chronic illness. And then that brings me to the kidneys. So your kidneys are, that system is the system that takes the waste from the lymphatic system, all the cellular waste. I had said this on one of my TikTok videos and somebody got mad at me. It was like, cells don't poop and pee. Yeah, they do. They produce cellular waste. They take what they need from the nutrients that are coming from the bloodstream, and whatever they can't use or the chemical reactions that they make to do whatever they're doing with the nutrients, the chemical process creates waste, and so that waste has to go somewhere. Your kidneys, your urinary tract system filters it out. And then again, your adrenals are like the powerhouse that tells all the systems what to do, and if they're down, then you see that your body is not correctly functioning either. Okay, so now that we know about the systems that we want to focus on first while we're mono fruit fasting, I'm going to give you about 3 to 5 herbs for each system. Now, my thinking has come from my learning from Dr. Robert Morse, the courses that I have taken from him, and I have applied his knowledge to my healing journey, and it has worked. So he believes in doing 3 to 5 herbs for each body system so you can get the most out of it, right? So he picks herbs that repair, he picks herbs that cleanse, he picks herbs that strengthen, or sometimes you'll hear tones. And so when you put all 3 of those together, they work as like a powerhouse to help you improve and heal the organs, the systems, right? Okay, so the first group of herbs we're going to talk about are for the kidneys. Number 1, dandelion leaf and root. Dandelion leaf and root is phenomenal for kidneys, liver, the GI tract, but specifically talking about the kidneys, it acts as a natural diuretic. 2 is your nettle leaf. It strengthens and nourishes the kidneys while supporting blood purification. Number 3 is corn silk. It soothes and reduces inflammation in the urinary tract, and this is also great for UTIs. Number 4 is hydrangea root. Helps dissolve kidney stones and break up sediment in the kidneys. What number is we on? 5, parsley leaf, like your culinary herb parsley. Parsley leaf flushes out toxins and increases urine flow. Parsley leaf, on the subject of toxin, helps remove heavy metals as well. And then one that I always mispronounce, so we're gonna try it here again, uva-ursi. UVA-URSI, I'm sure I butchered that, but it's an antimicrobial and supports the urinary tract, also great for UTIs. And then last one is juniper berry, cleanses the kidneys and helps reduce excess fluid retention. So 3 to 5 of those would be great as a kidney herbal formula. Then we go on to our GI tract, which is going to help improve your digestion and help waste elimination, cleanse, and strengthen the organs in the GI tract. You got your slippery elm bark. If you know me, you know that I love slippery elm bark because it is great at healing the gut lining. So if you suffer from any of the gastro illnesses like celiac, IBS, Crohn's, all those type of illnesses, leaky gut, this is great for that because it soothes, repairs the intestinal lining. And then one that is super similar to slippery elm elm bark is marshmallow root. It supports the gut healing and reduces inflammation. Number 3 is psyllium husk. It acts as a natural fiber that helps with bowel movement. So for anyone who has like chronic diarrhea, psyllium husk is great for that. The next one on the opposite scale, Cascara sangrata, and I might be pronouncing that wrong, it stimulates a healthy bowel movement. So if you have chronic constipation, it's hard for you to go, it can act as a mild laxative. And with that said, you want to be careful with that because you don't want to always use these type of herbs on a regular basis because you want to be able to go on your own. And if you're relying on herbs that have laxative effects, then the digestive system will, kind of get lazy and quit functioning the way it needs to. So you can be able to eliminate. So I would say these are great for fasting, but not long-term use. Then the next one is aloe vera, like your aloe vera leaf, the plant. It soothes and heals the digestive tract while promoting elimination. Ginger root, we all know about ginger root and how great it is. It reduces bloating, gas, and inflammation. Fennel seed is similar. It helps with digestive comfort and bloating. Then our next system is your lymphatic system. Number 1, red clover. It helps thin the lymph and move stagnant waste. So lymph can remind you of like mucus, like when you get a cold and you get that thick mucus, lymph, right? And the red clover will thin it out so you can be able to remove it. Cleavers is similar, very similar. It supports lymph drainage and reduces swelling. Then you have echinacea. I'm sure we know about echinacea because we like to consume it during the cold and flu season. But not only does it boost your immune system, it helps cleanse the lymph. Then we are on number 4, poke root. Poke root is super powerful. I'll tell you that right now. You want to be careful with poke root because it's aggressive. But if you are someone or know someone that deals with like tumors and boils, poke root is great because it is a powerful lymphatic mover. But it should be used cautiously. Next one is burdock root. It purifies the blood, so you get kind of like a 2-in-1, and it supports your lymphatic detox, or it supports the lymphatic detox. And then the next one is chaparral. It helps break down toxins and remove them from the lymph. And then we go into adrenals. Last one. So adrenals, licorice root supports adrenal function and balances your cortisol levels. You want to be careful with licorice root if you have high blood pressure because it can elevate it more. So be careful with that if you suffer from blood pressure issues. And then one that I think we all know of is ashwagandha. It helps with stress resistance and adrenal recovery. Number 3 is rhodiola, boosts energy and resilience to stress. Number 4 is Siberian ginseng. It strengthens the adrenals and combats fatigue. Last one, parsley root again. It supports adrenal function and detoxification. Now that we know about all the herbs that can help these body systems and organs, your next question is probably like, where am I gonna get all this from? So Dr. Robert Morse has like a 4-formula package that you can get from him on his website. I will link it below. I have tried it twice and I think it's phenomenal. But if you're looking for something more cost effective and you like, I don't know that I can afford all these herbs, this is a lot, Asheria, totally get it. I would say that your best bet is to start with dandelion root. And the reason why I say that is because dandelion root and leaf touches more than one organ, right? It can help cleanse and improve your liver, the kidneys, digestive system, pancreas, which is part of your digestive system, the heart, and even the skin. So, oh, I'm sorry, in the gallbladder as well, that is in the, GI tract. So if you aren't able to do those herbs all at once, dandelion root and leaf, hands down. Another individual that has a great formula, and it's in tea form, is Yaki Awaken. He has a 3-part formula that you can get from him. And I think both Dr. Robert Morse's and Yaki's, they range between like 140, 150. And I think that it's like, dare I say, a 30-day supply? I think it's a 2-week supply. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the website, down below so you can do your research. But those are the 2 that already have the formulas already mixed up. And then with Dr. Robert Morse, he has different types. So you can get it in a tincture, and that would be your slower way to absorb it. But all the ways you would still get the full benefits. It's just the absorption rate. Now, once you have started your fasting, and I highly recommend that you do some type of tracker to track your symptoms and how you're feeling and how you're improving. The first thing that you will notice on a fast is the detox symptoms that I mentioned way earlier in this video. And it's nothing to fear. Just know when you start having the detox symptoms that your body is clearing the waste and the toxins, and so you are on your way to recovery. This is a good thing. Now, detox symptoms can vary from irritability, fatigue, headaches, cold and flu symptoms, changes in your bowel symptoms. Sometimes you can experience pain, like maybe you have fibromyalgia and it is worse while you're on your detox. Things get worse before they get better. What's that saying about you gotta weather the storm? In a detox, you gotta weather the storm. Now, once you come out of the detox symptoms, usually the detox symptoms for me and my personal experience hit about day 3 to day 7. And it depends again on how toxic the body is and what stage of illness you are in. Will depend on how long those symptoms last. But once you come out of that, the first few symptoms but the first few benefits that you will feel to let you know that you are healing is an increase in energy, better sleep, your digestive system is better, meaning that you're using the restroom every day or a couple times a day and they are nicely formed. It's not, diarrhea or constipation. You will see your skin improve. So these are the first few symptoms, I keep saying symptoms, but benefits that you will see to let you know that you are on your way to heal. Okay, so then we get into transitioning into raw vegan. And whatever type of diet that you choose is your choice. I speak a lot about raw vegan because it is a way for you to get so much nutrition because your food is not cooked. So you are getting it at its highest energy level. And one thing I want you to remember to take away from this video is fruits cleanse, vegetables strengthen. So with a raw vegan diet, it's on the lower tier of detoxification, but you still have some type of detoxification going on. So as you transition out of that aggressive detox by fasting and you go into raw vegan, you are still able to cleanse and heal the body because you're eating raw now. But now it's time to build back, because with detoxing you do lose a good amount of weight, and I like to think of it as me not losing weight but me losing that toxin and that waste that that disease was built on. I know I get a lot of people like, I don't want to lose weight or whatever. Well, if you have ate a certain way all your life, the American Standard diet, then you got to lose that weight. You got to get rid of that, that old baggage that's no longer good for you. So I speak a lot about the raw vegan diet, but I have had cooked vegan foods or followed that diet as well. Whatever diet you decide to embark on after this fast, just make sure that you're not going back to old habits. Try your hardest. And what I mean by that is try to stay away from those foods that cause acidity in the body and inflammation. And we talked about that. That's going to be your gluten, your dairy, meat, alcohol, caffeine, processed foods, processed sugars, and sometimes the grains can bother you. The nightshades, remember the tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and sometimes peppers can bother you as well. So that's another reason why I said keep that tracker so you know what foods work for you and what foods don't work for you. But the whole concept with raw vegan diet is to eat your food uncooked so you can get all the nutrition that fruit or that vegetable, that nut or that seed has to offer. Some raw vegans will dehydrate their food, so there is the option of having dried fruits and dried vegetables and dehydrated fruits and vegetables. You can also have like lukewarm soups. I think it's not supposed to be over 140. Oh, I'm sorry, I was way wrong. 104. So they say the typical like warming up temperature that does not destroy the natural nutrients is 104 to 118. So that is the practice of eating raw vegan. You just want to make sure it's uncooked, unprocessed, 100% plant-based. Again, whole natural foods and high water content foods like your melons. What else was I going to tell you? And another thing about eating raw vegan is it's an alkaline based diet, and also you get tons of enzymes. That's another thing. Not only are we lacking fiber in our diets now in American Standard Diet, we are also lacking enzymes from the foods that we eat. But when you eat raw vegan, you have those enzymes, and enzymes basically help you break down the food and help the digestive system, break down the food before it does its other processes. And so just to give you an idea of like what fruits and veggies you can eat mainly any of the fruits and vegetables as long as they're not cooked. And also with that, you can do oils, but you just want to make sure that they're cold pressed, like your olive, coconut, hemp oil. You could do grains, but they have to be sprouted. So you're not supposed to actually eat like rice, but you can sprout your rice, or you can sprout your quinoa, you can sprout mustard seeds, clover seeds. What else do they have? Wheatgrass. Different type of seeds that you can sprout and you eat. And they actually say with sprouted grains and
sprouted seeds, you actually get more nutrients from it than you get from the adult size vegetable, which is interesting. And you can also have some raw vegans do it, some don't, but you can also have sauerkraut, kimchi, and you can do your superfoods like spirulina, like your algae, chlorella, maca, raw cacao. If you still want to indulge in chocolate, you could do raw cacao.
And then one thing I think that is not talked about enough is finding a community, finding that support when you decide to take this journey. And so whenever I decided to take this journey, I made sure I took the ones that, were close to me, that I love. And I told them like, hey, this is really important to me. I want to try this because I've tried all these other ways and it didn't work for me. And I need your support on this. And sometimes you just don't have the support of your family. And so that brings me into finding a community. There are tons of communities on Facebook, Instagram, there are YouTube communities. I even have my own Facebook community. It's called Heal, and I'll leave it in the description box, but there's about 600 of us. It is a small, close-knit community. Like, I vet everybody that comes in there because I don't want no riffraff. So it's a very safe and comfortable space, and I'm very active in that group. So if you need a community while you're on this journey, I'm here for you, they're here for you, but there are resources out there. And then lastly, make sure you do your due diligence on researching and being your own advocate and your own healer. So like I said, this is going to be a whole series. What I didn't discuss in this video, you can definitely ask me in the comments below, but remember, this is going to be a whole series. Baby, I'm about to break this thing down to the ground, right? This is going to be like a university course, okay? I'm going to give you everything that I got, I promise, because I wish that I had someone like me back when I was going through it, where I could just go to their page and find everything that I need from beginning to end. And like I said, I did that over on Instagram through stories, but there's no like solid concrete platform where you can just go get that information from me. Like it's kind of all over the place. But here on YouTube, it's gonna be step 1 through wherever we end, right? You're gonna have beginning to the end. Promise you that. So I hope that this video was helpful. You learned something from it. You can share it with someone else. Like I always say, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to have a safe space over here on this platform. And you go do something that makes you healthy and happy. Until the next video, I'll see you then.